This is real. SpaceX is requesting to launch and operate. Dude, I can't even do this. A constellation of 1 million satellites with unprecedented computing capacity. These will be orbital data centers to power advanced AI. And this is according to a new FCC filing. This isn't Elon Musk thinking out loud. This is SpaceX requesting permission via the FCC to actually do this. 1 million satellites. Oh boy. What's even crazier? Here's a direct quote from the filing from SpaceX. Launching 1 million satellites that operate as orbital data centers is a first step towards becoming a Kardashev 2 level civilization. One that can harness the sun's full power while supporting AI-driven applications for billions of people today and ensuring humanity's multi-planetary future amongst the stars. Aaron asks, is this the first time Kardashev 2 level civilization has been used in an FCC filing? Surely Aaron knows the answer to this, of course. I feel like I'm going to wake up, bro. Is this a dream? Is this real life? We are absolutely in the best timeline. Elon reposting this. That's my favorite part. Now, keeping things on brand here, I've just clicked the Grok info button on this. I was going to explain to you guys what the Kardashev scale is. I thought, you know what, Grok's probably going to do a better job. So let's see this. The Kardashev scale, introduced, yeah, we know, obviously the name, in 1964, classifies civilizations by energy consumption. Type 2 status requires capturing a star's total output, a concept rarely invoked in official regulatory documents until this unprecedented SpaceX application. Now we'll have Grok explain the different levels of the Kardashev scale. Type 1, a planetary civilization that controls and utilizes all the available energy on its home planet, including geothermal, solar, wind, and nuclear sources. Okay, just to be clear, we're not even at a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of Type 1. And these motherfuckers are out here with an official filing with the FCC dropping Type 2, which, to be clear again, is to harness all of the energy from the sun. Just to be clear, not all the energy from the sun that reaches Earth, which would require blanketing the whole planet in solar panels. No. All of the energy from the whole fucking sun. Bro. In other words, a Dyson sphere or similar, enveloping the entire sun, capturing all of its energy. This is bonkers. They're actually going to make Star Trek real. And for those of you curious, Type 3 controls energy on the scale of an entire galaxy. Just to be clear, typical galaxy would have 100, 200 billion suns. So you'd, in essence, be harnessing the majority of the energy, not just from a single sun, but hundreds of billions. Absolutely fucking insane. In response to this truly insane news, SpaceX requesting to launch and operate a constellation of 1 million satellites. Some guy with 3 first names on X posts 1 million satellites. Oh, is that all? Elon Musk responds, I thought we'd start small and work our way up. Musk also clarifying in the discussion on some of the comments on this post that most of training is inference for the purpose of training. So these work for a majority of training workload too. Translation, if you're not an AI nerd, this swarm of space-based AI will be capable of doing the majority of AI workloads, whether it's training something, improving its capabilities, or actually executing queries and so on. Now, the real question is, what are we calling this thing? My early favorite is Starthink. Elon Musk couldn't help himself on a bit of a trolling bender on X. Oops, did I say 1 million? I meant to say 1 billion. Boy. More discussion on X. Sawyer Merritt rightly pointing out Tesla needs to get going on the Terafab, e.g. Tesla's chip fabrication plant, and solar plant. And yeah, that's right. I mean, we're easily talking 1 million plus chips, if not multiple per satellite. Probably multiple. Actually, probably way more than a few per satellite. And as for solar, that's how these things will be powered. It's still blowing my mind how much companies are converging like this. Just to be clear, to recap, especially for those who haven't been paying close attention over the last few weeks, Tesla will be building a chip fabrication plant, AI chips. They need to. They need to put these in their robotaxis, their humanoid robots. And it sounds like SpaceX, unless SpaceX gets folded into Tesla, will become one of Tesla's biggest external customers once Tesla's met their own needs for these same chips. So check this post out from Musk. Tesla recently mentioning their intent to scale up solar production to 100 gigawatts per year. He writes, 100 gigawatts per year of solar-powered AI satellites requires 100 gigawatts per year of AI computers. ... So remember this post and the one we just read from Sawyer? He ain't fucking wrong. No prizes for guessing which company is going to be producing the chips and solar powering SpaceX's gigantic constellation of 1 million satellites for AI training and inference. Check out this post from Amy on X. To put 100 gigawatts per year of AI compute in context, NVIDIA is presently at around 10 gigawatts per year. You don't need to be a math genius here, do you? Again, Musk's post wasn't 10 gigawatts in total. It's per year. This motherfucker is talking about a scale of both AI compute and the requisite solar to power said compute, roughly an order of magnitude greater than NVIDIA's current annual output. Not equal to, not slightly larger than, not double, 10 times. A whole order of magnitude. What the actual fuck? Bro, we're about to get to a quick clip from Kathy Wood, Musk responding to some commentary on this, with a caption definitely. But first, I just want to give you guys some context, because I've been talking recently about the potential of a SpaceX IPO, of SpaceX and xAI merging and then an IPO of that combined entity, possibly even SpaceX getting folded directly into Tesla, or even the dream scenario, SpaceX and xAI getting folded into Tesla. Just imagine. These three companies, no doubt, over the next few years, next half decade, next decade or so, will collectively be investing in terms of capital expenditures. Many tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars. P.S. I'm not fucking around. I didn't pull that number out of my ass. If we are talking hundreds of gigawatts per year of solar-powered AI satellites, which will require hundreds of gigawatts per year of AI computers, and in order to get these satellites into orbit, you need to launch them, this money needs to come from somewhere. Now, Tesla has a massive war chest, a little over $44 billion of cash and investments. SpaceX, xAI each, some cash as well. But collectively, to pull this off is going to require monstrous capital outlays. So, inevitably, there's going to have to be a massive capital raise at some point very fucking soon. I'll try not to put too many of you to sleep, but this is really important just to get some ballpark numbers out there. Today, we don't really know how much a typical Starlink satellite costs to launch. However, the rumors point to somewhere in the vicinity of $500,000 a pop. The reason I mentioned a Starlink satellite has some of the same features of these AI satellites, including solar power. And of course, they're currently manufactured by SpaceX. On the AI training side, NVIDIA's H100s, their Blackwells, they're somewhere in the vicinity of many tens of thousands of dollars. Let's just round it down a little and call it about $30,000. So I'm going to pull a number out of my ass based on these and say, hypothetically, let's say that SpaceX can somehow manufacture each of their satellites for AI training and inference in space for just $50,000 a pop. If they need to produce 1 million of these, we are looking at, by the way, who is the retard who made this Google calculator? No commas. Like, what kind of fuckwit makes a calculator that doesn't automatically space these out for easy reading? I mean, seriously, what is Google thinking? Oh, wait, they're not thinking. This number, 50 billion. So in an extremely conservative scenario in terms of cost, again, I mean, $50,000 a pop at scale, I think this is really on the low end, but whatever, nice round number. This doesn't, of course, include launch costs, just the actual hardware. We're still talking about $50 billion. $50 fucking billion. And for those of you playing along at home, you want to know how much it costs to get a chip fabrication plant up and running? I mean, absolute best case scenario is probably no less than 10 billion, probably a lot more than that. So now we're around 60 billion bucks. So where in the fuck is this money coming from? And the answer is a massive capital raise. It seems inevitable. So my strong suspicion is that when SpaceX IPOs and or gets folded into Tesla, whatever happens, there's going to be a $50 billion-ish capital raise, ... for now. So let's talk about capital raises and why it makes a hell of a lot of sense if it's possible and can get shareholder approval to fold SpaceX into Tesla and xAI into the same entity. Typically, when a company raises capital, for those who don't know, the dumbed down version is they issue new shares. It slightly dilutes existing shareholders. They sell those new shares and they literally end up with a pile of cash from having sold those new shares. Typically, a company worth $100 billion plus when they're raising capital might raise somewhere on the order of 1, maybe 2 on the higher end % of the current valuation of the company. E.g., if it's worth $100 billion, maybe you raise $1 to $2 billion. Historically, Tesla has been somewhere in that ballpark most of the time, somewhere between 1, maybe 1.5% of the company's valuation. However, in 2016, Tesla actually raised a fuck ton of capital, far and away the biggest in Tesla's history as a percentage of their valuation, roughly 4 to 5% of the company's value. This was basically prior to the massive ramp of the Model 3 which then also expanded into the Model Y. A hugely capital-intensive project that ultimately transformed the company and started printing crazy money. So, what am I getting at? What's the point here? We're going to try and figure out now what kind of a valuation from the raising company would be required for $50 billion to not be an absurdly large percentage of the actual valuation of the company raising the money. Now, Google's inbuilt search calculator can get fucked. It's been fired. No commas equals fuck off and die. On screen now, with some commas, thank fuck, we have $2 trillion. This would be a reasonably fair estimated valuation for a combined SpaceX plus XAI entity. Raising $50 billion for a company with a $2 trillion valuation, 2.5% of the total valuation of the company. $60 billion would be around 3, so it's getting on the higher end. But this could be done, wouldn't be too absurd. But let's say we throw in Tesla, currently about a $1.5 trillion valuation, plus the 2 for SpaceX plus XAI combined. We're now looking at a $3.5 trillion valuation. And don't be a nerd and go, oh, well, technically it's probably not going to value everything as high if they're all combined as they would be valued separately. Don't you understand that whole concept? Fuck off. Okay, I'm making a point. Call it $3.5 trillion, give or take. At this type of valuation, raising $50+ billion will be just under 1.5% of the combined valuation. That's much more in line with some historical examples, including Tesla themselves, whose previous capital raises have been around 1.3, 1.2, and 1%, or even less than the company, except for that one-off prior to the Model 3 ramp, which was 4 to 5%. Long story short, the higher the combined valuation of the company, the entity raising the capital, the smaller a percentage, and therefore the less quote-unquote risky it looks on paper, and more generous terms they're likely to get raising the capital. SpaceX plus XAI doing an IPO, they could do it on their own, but it'll be even juicier. They'll probably get much better terms if those were both folded into Tesla. Now, let's see what Musk was responding definitely to. This was after Aaron pointed out that Cathie Wood, discussing SpaceX and the convergence on orbital data centers and reusable rockets, deserve credit for not only recognizing that last year was the right time to begin diving deep into SpaceX modeling. For those who don't know, they published a SpaceX model sometime last year. And they also deserve credit for going out of their way to mention the people that helped ARC with this model.
Being able to have reusable, low-cost, access to flight and data centers in space, and who would have ever thought? One of the conversations Dave and I had with Elon was, no one was talking about data centers in space 6 months ago, and then all of a sudden, everybody's talking about them.
Yes, and we have an open source SpaceX model out there, we in collaboration with Mach 33, and we put it out early, probably mid last year. And we didn't have anything like the orbital data centers in our model. So now we're going back to the drawing board with Mach 33. And yeah, here are some of the early results that you're seeing. The massive, first of all, the cost decline. Again, another use case driving unit growth. And Wright's law is centered on unit growth. For every cumulative doubling in the number of units produced with a new technology, in this case reusable rockets, cost decline at a consistent percentage rate. And in the case of rockets, the readers will have to go to the page. I'm blanking on it. It's a pretty big number in terms of cost declines, but not as big, believe it or not. In the industrial robot space, for every cumulative doubling in the number of industrial robots produced, cost decline by 50%. It's not as high as that, but it's well into the 20s, I believe.
By the way, imagine this. What if robots are used in the manufacturing of both the rockets and the satellites? So, in conclusion, watch this space. This is absolutely the craziest time to be alive. Something massive is brewing behind the scenes. I'm on the fucking record. We're looking at probably a $50 billion capital raise. To start with, the synergies between SpaceX and Tesla, the convergence between these two companies, never mind XAI. Who would have seen this coming? Did anyone's Tesla valuation model have Tesla doing 100 gigawatts per year of solar just for space-based AI satellites? Yeah, probably not. Yet here we fucking are. This shit is wild. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.